Today we're fishing with Randy Couture.
Don't have much opportunity to fish, so it's going to be fun.
We are launched from the City Yacht Basin in Havre de Grace, Maryland. We're going to fish on the Susquehanna Flats.
You have big fish that are coming in here to spawn. So 20-pounders, 30-pounders, up to 40-pound stripers in very skinny water. So it's really exciting. Now the stories I hear about these 40-pound cows, is this something that happens or?
It happens. It's going to happen today.
Caught something. Were you willing to go in and knowing that you're going to take a few punches to get close enough? Is that part of the game? Just
you got to make friends with it. I don't care how good you are, you're going to get hit.
It's time to throw a fly. It's so pretty, look at that. As soon as that tide starts moving and the bait gets jumbled up, the big fish will come out. And we will get them.
I just got a report the guy's catching some fish right now, so we're going to go get them.
Nice.
I'm Tom Colicchio, and I'm in the food business. From restaurants to reality TV. My true passion is fishing. No matter the size of the catch, I always love a good fight.
There you go.
And on my show, we've always got something or someone on the hook. This is Hooked Up.
We are in Maryland, and we're fishing the Susquehanna Flats. I have heard about this for years. You have big fish that are coming in here to spawn. So 20-pounders, 30-pounders, up to 40-pound, stripers in very skinny water. So it's really exciting. I'm so looking forward to this. This is just one of those trips I've been trying to make for the last couple of years, and so it's great that we're going to get out there and get some fish.
We are launched from the City Yacht Basin in Havre de Grace, Maryland. We're going to fish on the Susquehanna Flats. It's a well-known striper fishery. We call it rockfish around here, striped bass. The Susquehanna Flats are right at the mouth of the Susquehanna River, which goes all the way up into New York State, 444 miles. Rockfish are an anadromous fish, meaning they have to return to fresh water to spawn, just like a salmon or the herring and the shad, which is what the rockfish are eating right now. So hopefully we're going to catch some big ones today.
Today we're fishing with Randy Couture, and Randy was a wrestler, a champion high school wrestler, and then he was a wrestler in the military. And then after that, he went on to fight for UFC. He was a world champ, and he sounds like a well-rounded guy. I hope he could fish.
I grew up in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. Fished on the Puget Sound a bunch. We had a small boat. Used to do a lot of salmon fishing, some trout fishing, and steelhead fishing in the Northwest. So first time fishing on the East Coast, so I'm looking forward to it. I've never met Tom. Looking forward to meeting him, seeing Top Chef. Actually been to Craft Steak in Las Vegas. This is where I live now. And so it'll be nice to, I'm kind of a foodie, so it's gonna be fun. Don't have much opportunity to fish, so it's gonna be nice to be back out on a boat and back fishing.
Richard, how's the fishing been?
Well, it's been spotty. We had a lot of fish here a couple weeks ago, and we had a lot of temperature changes. It got really warm a few days. It seemed like it kind of messed things up, and the fish are starting to come back in here. There was some big fish caught yesterday.
Oh, good. I've heard about this fishing for years, and I've never got down here to do it, so I'm really excited about fishing this water.
Yeah, this can be great. When it's good, it's as good as it gets.
Now, the stories I hear about these 40-pound cows, is this something that happens, or?
It happens. Not every day, but it happens. It's going to happen today.
I won't hold you to it, but as long as we have a good day on the water, that's all that matters to me.
We're going to do what we can.
Good. There he is.
Hey.
Hey, Randy, how you doing?
Good.
Tom, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Richard.
Ready to get some fish?
Absolutely.
All right, good.
Let's do it. I've never fished on the East Coast.
No, okay. First time for stripers.
There we go.
All right, let's get them.
All right.
Get on this thing, let's go.
This year, it's been kind of sporadic. It's been hit and miss, but I just got a report the guy's catching some fish right now, so we're going to go get them.
Hunting or fishing? Man, I think I would go with hunting over fishing. I like being in the mountains, I like being in the woods. Nothing wrong with fishing, and I've done a lot of it, but I prefer if I have a free time to go hunt.
Are you still in fighting shape, or?
Yeah, still train all the time. Fighting shape, I don't know about that, but still in good shape. I still spar with the guys now and then and grapple all the time. And, can hold my own. Fighting shape is a whole different animal.
This is close. I always like to try one drift through here in the morning. It's right outside the marina. So we'll start prospecting with the spinning rods. Or just
Sounds good.
get the fly rod out in a minute. Thinking try one of these spoons. Sure, we'll get out of that wind a little bit. That's the Susquehanna, right? Where that bridge is?
There, okay.
Yeah, that's the Amtrak bridge, that first one.
Got it.
If you get out here a little further, you can see it. There's like 2 train bridges, 2 car bridges, 95, 40.
Do you ever go up the river for these fish? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fish. That's the main channel right there. It kind of shoals up right here. We get a grass bed grows up in here in the summertime. Should drift right straight with the wind. I figure we'll just try one drift through here, see if we see anything. All right, a couple more casts. We're going to blast out of here, guys.
All right. Well, move on.
Mike Tyson or Bruce Lee? I'm gonna have to go with Bruce Lee. He is the grandfather of mixed martial arts, and so as powerful as Mike Tyson is, I think Bruce Lee is gonna get the best of that one.
When did you realize that wrestling was it? I mean, was there a certain point where you started?
My best friend in the neighborhood, Bobby Stevenson, his older brothers wrestled. I was in the 6th grade, going to watch his brothers wrestle at the district meet for the junior high school. They had a novice division. The boys thought it would be funny to enter Bobby and I in the tournament.
Okay.
Never wrestled a day in my life. I had my first bloody nose. I got pinned a kid with a headlock. I didn't even know what a headlock was. And that kind of started it for me. I rolled into junior high the next year. The PE teacher was also the wrestling coach. He remembered me from the novice tournament. He said, wrestling starts on Monday, I'll see you there. And I showed up, and I've been wrestling ever since.
That was it, huh?
Yeah.
You went off to college to wrestle, right?
Actually, I went in the service before I went to college. I was in the Army for 6 years.
Okay.
I had a family on the way, and at 19 years old, I got married and joined the Army to support the new family. And then was in the Army for 6 years, and ended up wrestling again. I thought I was pretty much done wrestling. I think it was there I started to realize that I could compete at an international level and at a high level. You know, the Inter-Service Championship was an Olympic qualifier. I won a championship in Europe for the military, got a chance to try out for the All-Army team, made the All-Army team, ended up eventually winning the Inter-Service Championship and qualifying for the Olympic trials. And was an alternate on the 88 team as a soldier.
On the 88 team, okay.
I ended up being an alternate 3 more times after that. 92, 96, and 2000, but 92 and 96 especially. I was the #1 guy in the country and was the guy everybody expected to make the team and ended up taking 2nd in those trials.
The guy that beat you, did you know him? Did you
Oh,
wrestle him
yeah.
before?
Wrestled him lots of times.
You beat him every time.
I beat him
right?
before, yeah. Made the world team 4 times, but in that Olympic year, I managed to come up short. Never achieved that goal. And, you know, everything works out. It happens for a reason. I was still hungry, you know, still competitive. Where I think if I'd have won my medal and made the team and all that, I probably would have been satisfied to just coach at the college level and do what I was doing.
We're getting up here in the shallow water. I mean, we came up that edge, didn't see anything. I want to move us about another mile over there, try that other point. I'm going to work that side hard today. There was a couple big fish caught over there yesterday. Been pretty good fishing on this side.
Okay.
I heard of a couple 40-pound fish caught here in the last few days. Not by me personally, but it was a good fish story anyway. It's time to catch fish, boys.
We gotta wake him up a little bit.
We gotta catch something to get the skunk out of the boat.
Yeah. Got some bait fish over there, maybe.
Come on, fish.
This is the way it usually goes, huh, Tom?
Well, you know, it's fishing. There's fishing and then there's catching. This is the fishing part. We'll get them. They're around. Just gotta find them. Nothing's a sure thing.
Brains or brawn? I think brains are going to win every time.
They'll figure out a way to solve the problem.
So, Randy, you clearly had a tremendous amount of success in the ring. Why you? What do you attribute it to? What were you doing differently than this sort of guy you were fighting?
I learned through the sport of wrestling that it was about work.
Okay.
And work ethic and you know, being willing to outwork your opponents. And also try to take a little more cerebral approach to the sport. It's problem solving.
Okay.
And that guy poses a certain problem.
Sure.
I got to figure out the best way to solve that problem.
I just find it so interesting that you didn't start fighting until you were 34. Did people tell you to try to talk you out of it, say it's too late for you? And you know,
outside of my mother, you know, I tried to box when I was young too.
Okay.
And she's like, no, you're not. You can do whatever you want, but you're not boxing. And now she jokes. She's like, I should have just let you box then. You'd have got it out of your system. But yeah, I definitely got that wild-eyed look. Like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
But I'd been wrestling since I was 10 years old, and so for me, MMA was just an extension of wrestling.
So you were more comfortable on the floor than kicking and punching?
Traditionally, yeah. I learned the other things because I had to. You know, you'd have a glaring weakness, somebody's going to point it out to you, and it's not usually much fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. How much does fear sort of come into it? Did you fear your opponent going in?
We all have that little bit of fear. It's motivating. If you're not scared of it at all, then you're probably a sociopath of some sort. So I think that you need that little bit of fear. Forces you to do the work.
Going into a fight, what's the mindset? What are you focused on? What are you thinking of sort of right before that fight starts? Staying
as calm and relaxed as you can. And everybody's wired a little different and deals with kind of the adversity of competition a little different. But for me, it was just staying relaxed, enjoying the moment. You have your guys around you. It's your chance to go out and show exactly what you trained to do and what skills you've developed. And so kind of enjoying that was what it was for me. You visualize and prepare mentally for that first contact, and then from then on, it's purely action and reaction. You're reacting to what your opponent does.
I mean, were you willing to go in and knowing that you're going to take a few punches to get close enough? Is that part of the game? Just kind of
you got to make you got to make friends with it. I don't care how good you are, you're going to get hit.
Exactly, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
Come on, fish. Water's just not moving right now. Slack tide. As soon as the water starts to drop out and it starts moving, then the bait can't hide. Right now the bait, they can swim freely because there's not a lot of current. So they can avoid the predators. And the predators know that, so they don't even bother feeding right now. But as soon as that tide starts moving and the bait gets jumbled up, the big fish will come out. And we will get them. That's the theory. It's just a theory.
Knockout or submission? I think submission. A guy can land a lucky punch and get a knockout, but a submission is a very tactical and technical thing to do.
You announced that you were retiring before your last fight, right?
Yes, I did. Win or lose, that was going to be the last one.
What was the sort of idea behind that as opposed to just, announcing it after the fight?
Part of it was just me making it public that it was going to be the last one, so there was no backing out.
Got it.
You win, and I'll say, well, maybe I shouldn't retire.
All right, one more.
And
but a lot of people come out of retirement.
I did that once too. I came out of retirement and won the heavyweight championship again. So yeah, it was probably the right thing to do.
Right.
I think I retired for the wrong reasons the first time. I'd just gone through a really, really kind of bad divorce. And just had a lot of stuff going on and didn't feel like myself and just wasn't getting the job done and needed a break. The dust settled after about a year and I was like, you know what, I still want to compete. And ended up getting an opportunity to go back in and compete again, and it went well. I came out, won that fight, won a couple others after that, and I think in the last part of my career, I was as active as I'd ever been. I think in the last 18 months of my fight career, I fought 5 times, which is a lot.
Yeah. So you're done now?
Done.
You're done.
Yeah.
See that bald eagle there? We got a lot of them around here now.
It looks like he's got a fish in his talons.
It's good to see them. Right, 20 years ago, man, that was a rare thing to see in the eagle. Osprey too. They're all over the place now.
Sly Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger? I think we'll have to go with Rambo over the Governator.
What did you watch growing up? Were you a fan of action films back then?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who's your favorite action star?
Well, I've always been a huge Clint Eastwood fan. I used to watch all the spaghetti westerns with my dad, and I just, you know, he had the soundtracks in his car, and I mean, those were great movies. As I got older and into my teens, you know, Rambo and Conan the Barbarian, all the Die Hard stuff, all that stuff those were the movies we all talked about.
So when you were a kid wrestling and going to the film, movies, you ever think in a million years that you'd be up there on the screen doing it?
No, it's not something I ever saw myself doing.
Did wrestling sort of give you that confidence to go up there and tackle that as well?
I think being involved in the individual combative sports developed a particular character for sure, that especially walking out in that arena in nothing but your trunks in front of 20,000 people, getting up in that cage all by yourself. Everything else after that kind of pales in comparison. But wrestling was certainly a big start of that. But I think, to be honest, being involved in the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, in that reality show where for 60 straight days I wore a microphone and had a camera in my face. And the first week it feels weird, and you're like, man. And then after the first week, you're so engrossed in what you're doing, you just forget, and you kind of get used to it. And I really think that helped me when it then came time to act.
Hey, Tom, I just talked to a buddy of mine. He just hooked one over here. Let's take a ride across the flats where we just came from.
Sounds good. Yeah, we just left there, of course.
Just left there, of course. He's just hooked.
Let's go back.
Said it's a big fish, too.
Big fish? All right. I like
Take any size fish
I like big fish, I like small fish, I like red fish, blue fish, doesn't matter to me.
Okay. We're going to get hooked up.
Let's go.
Nature or nurture? I think both are important, but at the end of the day, I think your nature is what's going to come through.
You're out, you go to bars or whatever, and you get these jackasses that all, don't want to prove to their friends that they're tough. Do you ever get that, like guys come up and like actually try to test you?
I have had nobody seriously test me. Guys will make the offhanded comment.
They make the comment.
You're bigger. You're not that big, or you don't look that tough, and I'm pretty easygoing. I smile. Then I'll change your perspective if you're laying on the floor looking up at me.
It's time to throw a fly. Wind's dying down. Change it up a little bit. It's so pretty, look at that. Come on, fishy, fishy, fishy. I'd be okay for some small fish right now.
Toll Road or Sargon? I think Toll Road would eat Sargon for lunch.
So what's next? You have some charitable stuff you're working on?
Yeah, I started a nonprofit about 5 years ago for wounded soldiers. I think having worn the uniform, in the 80s in the Cold War, I have some understanding of what those guys go through and their training and everything, the commitment. And then now, obviously, with a war going on, these guys are actually putting it on the line and representing us around the world. And want to meet a couple of them to recognize the patriotism and all the things that they stand for, and seeing them come back tore up is pretty tough.
Both physically and
mentally. So getting a chance to shed some light on that, raise some awareness about that, and in a small way raise some funds for some of them that really need an extra boost. Is pretty much what it's been all about.
We, all of us in this country, owe a debt of gratitude for people who put on that uniform and actually go to war and fight and come home wounded. Do you think our government's doing everything they can to take care of these people after they get back?
I think they're doing everything they can. I think it's just such a huge endeavor that there's inevitably people and things that fall through the cracks. They can't, they just can't see it all and do it all. I think they're doing a pretty good job. A lot of the facilities I've visited are state-of-the-art. There's always going to be stories of people that got overlooked or people that didn't get what they need, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah. What kind of feeling is that going into a VA hospital and seeing these guys that are kind of blown up? And what do you say? How do you deal with it? On a personal level, and
It's a challenge, but your first inclination is to be really kind of bummed out about it and depressed and almost sickened by what you see. But then you get a chance to shake that person's hand or meet his mom that's sitting there with him, and they're so upbeat, and all they want to talk about is, man, I hope I get to go back. My boys are still over there.
Yeah, I've heard that story over and over again. Yeah,
it's just like you don't have a chance to be anything but, man, this guy's an amazing guy,
right.
And you want to do whatever you can do to help him out.
Right. Come on, fish. Where the hell? Richard, you can take us to the secret spot now. It's okay. Yeah, any time now. You're getting no love today at all. No love.
Hey, Richard.
Bill?
Hey, Bill.
How you doing?
Good, how's it going?
Good. Watching some Chesapeake Bay favorites.
I hope it's better than the Chesapeake Bay fishing we have right now.
Got a little crab cakes and smoked goose.
I like crab cakes.
Smoked goose. Canada goose from the Chesapeake Bay.
Sounds good.
That's what we like.
Nope.
All right.
Enjoy that.
Thank you, Bill.
Specialties from home. All right, good luck.
Thanks, Bill.
We're on it.
We'll see you later.
Are leaders born or made? I think that, man, interesting question. I think that leaders are made more than anything. You develop a particular character based on your environment and what you're exposed to, and ultimately you rise to that occasion and either become a leader or you follow.
What's this?
It looks like we have some smoked goose. Apparently it's a local delicacy. Actually, Bill delivered lunch, he made that. And then we have some crab cakes, some Chesapeake Bay crab cakes. We're in the Chesapeake. Yeah. We have crab cakes. This has to be good, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you can't catch fish, you might as well eat well. How's that? Cheers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we couldn't get some fish for you.
Hey, that's fishing.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Is it?
I've never had smoked goose before.
That's good. I actually am a sucker for crab cakes, I gotta say.
My dad used to bring smoked oysters and crackers on every hunting trip. That's what we packed and took out in the woods.
What'd you hunt for?
Deer mostly as a kid.
Yeah.
Elk mostly as an adult.
I know you got to run soon, right? Catch a flight back?
That's right.
Back to Vegas, and I'm gonna stick around for an hour or so, keep fishing. Maybe, maybe we can find a fish, and if I get one, I'll email it to you.
I'll probably be jumping in the boat as soon as I leave.
Exactly. I'll rub it in. I'll send it to you.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate
cool.
that.
Anyway, pleasure hanging out with you, man. Yeah. Next time we'll get more fish, but great conversation.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool.
It was awesome.
Cheers. Fish. Well, we fished hard all day. It just ain't happening, so it's time to wrap it up. Live to fight another day. Well, Cap, I don't know. I've seen enough. It ain't pretty. All right, one last cast. If this doesn't happen, it's done. It was a tough day, but a day on the water is still an easy day. It's better than a day at work. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have better luck. I'm Tom Colicchio.
I'm Plexico Burris.
I know this guy can catch a football, but Hope you can catch a fish.
I think I can.
You can. Check me out on Hooked Up. Hit the subscribe button.
Pharrell Williams here.
Hi, I'm Joy Bryant,
I'm Eric Ripper,
I'm Tom Colicchio.
I'm Dr. Frank Lipman, the host of On the Table,
the host of Across the Board.
Host of Artist Talk.
Host of Hooked Up.
host of the show Be Well Week, Be Well Weekend on the Reserve channel.
It's only on Reserve.
Did you know that you can follow my show on social media sites like Facebook?
Follow us on Twitter.
If you're a fan of my show, hit the like button.
All of the above.
Share me with your friends.
Treat yourself. Check out a new episode of my show, Hooked Up.
And if you want to leave comments, feedbacks, ideas, whatever, love to hear from you. Leave a comment.
And if you don't want to miss the show, be sure to subscribe.
The one that's like down here, or is it here? Somewhere down here.
Thanks for watching the Reserve channel.
Only on YouTube. Throw caution to the wind and ask yourself what rules.